they're so quick to say that we have a right-wing problem in the United States, to the point where the right is almost just the concept of the right is synonymous with bad. And that's just so detached from reality. You can look at the right and say there are bad things that have been done from people on the right, or bad ideas that have come from the right. Fine. But to think that an entire philosophy, because right now on the right is where the Enlightenment lives, right? Like, all of your romantic philosophies, like socialism is a romantic philosophy. It's based in the idea that you can will things into existence as opposed to reason, like the Enlightenment. And the idea that this stuff is acceptable is just that it's so bad for the country, and it will cause massive problems. And we're starting to see them.
It's bad for the world.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's failed everywhere it's been tried. Mm-hmm. Why do we need to try it again?
Yep. I mean, they're
not going to stop trying.
I can go on and on about this.
You see that
Same
meme
here, man.
That meme where what was that woman? She's like from Al Jazeera Plus or whatever, and she says, just because socialism hasn't been implemented properly doesn't mean we just give up.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you got to break some eggs or whatever, and then someone responds with, "Oops, I burned the souffle," and it shows the killing fields or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Nobody knows about all these things that happen.
And
they only know about like the right stuff, and they don't realize socialism is a road to communism.
Well,
that's the whole point.
I was talking over the holidays with people, and everyone's heard of the right-wing boogeyman. Joe Biden giving the speech like, "Oh my God," and I'm talking to people. I'm like, "Did you know that in 2020 we saw the worst riots this country's seen in 5 decades? It was the left. Did you know that on May 29th, 2020, thousands of far-left extremists firebombed the White House, setting fire to a guard post, setting fire to St. John's Church, the historical church across the street? 70 plus police officers were injured in the scuffle, and the president was forced into an emergency bunker." They go, "What? We've had people on this show." We had Marianne Williamson, I asked her, and she's like, "I don't know what happened with that. What are you talking about?" It's like, how do you not know what is happening in your backyard? Look, Marianne Williamson is a very, very nice lady, and she is more deserving of being president than Joe Biden and any other Democrat running for the Democrats. But I got to be honest, if you don't know that the house you are seeking to occupy was firebombed only a couple of years ago, I'm not sure you're fit for the job. It's something you should know.
They call them mostly peaceful protests when they do it.
When they were burning down a police station.
Yeah, burn down police station.
Which you like, young people don't realize it, but I mean, I'm probably your age, or you're probably my age. Like, back in the 80s, these kinds of phrases we were familiar with because we would watch I watched a bunch of shows about Russia, about a lot of stuff about East Germany. There was this one show about paintball, like these kids that used to play paintball, and they got mixed up with spies in East Germany. It was super cool. But the point is, like, you would hear how in communist countries and in socialist countries, how phrases would be said, and everybody was aware that they did not mean what they said. Like, the words that they were saying and the meaning behind the words were totally incongruous.
Well, it's like what we saw with Vivek Ramaswamy. He gets questioned by that Washington Post woman, and she says, "Will you condemn white supremacy?" And he's like, "I condemn all forms of racial discrimination." And it's because white supremacy to the left means something different than what it actually means. They have their own different language. It's fascinating. They use words that to them mean something, but to us mean something different on purpose to trick us and to trick the ignorant. And so when Vivek Ramaswamy gets interviewed by those two women, by that Dasha Burns or whatever her name is, it's one of the most that lady needs to be fired. But I understand NBC is not a news organization. They're an activist organization. So why would they fire their proselytizers? But this woman, Dasha, is not interviewing a presidential candidate. She's berating someone over her personal, emotional, activist cause. And Vivek accurately points out the issue with white supremacy is that they define it as punctuality and like an hour-based work schedule. So I need to understand, is that what you want me to condemn? And she's just interrupting him nonstop. It's fascinating when Vivek is on the CNN town hall debate stage. They always have to interrupt because they're not journalists.